So this is the part that the study advisor normally explains. I try to understand all the figures and facts because I have some last information for you regarding admittance criteria, the study program, pre-master, part-time studying, etc. So first we already asked you where you're from, what kind of program is your background. Here you see that there are many ways to enter our master program. There's always an individual evaluation. I think that's the core of this scheme. So it means that depending on your previous program, you might have to follow the pre-master or can skip that. The pre-master is only 30 EC. A couple of years ago there was still 60 EC. And that means that for those who are not so familiar yet with the topic of educational science and technology, we also developed a self-study package, some papers, some information about topics that we use in our first classes. Well, this is the most easy scheme I could think of, but this is actually how it looks like if you start with the pre-master program. You do 30 EC followed by the master program of 60 EC. And both programs you can start in February and September. It means that if you would start with the pre-master program, for example, in September, you do a good job, what you're of course are going to do, and you pass the courses of the 30 EC, you immediately can continue in February with the master and graduate a year later. So as I already told you, it's only 30 EC, so in the 30 EC we have to prepare you for the master program. And that means that you get some general academic courses related to research methodology, statistics for example, academic writing, some basic skills we help you to develop and to use in a course that will follow afterwards. Of course, we also have some domain-specific courses. One is designing for learning in schools and organizations. In that course, you learn a lot about the basic theories about learning in schools and how to design solutions that help to support people in their learning. And Research Studio, and in this course actually all the information comes together. It's like the final course of your pre-master in which you write a paper on, and use some data to answer research questions. And well, if you pass that course, you're really ready for our master program. So I told you already a little bit about the self-study package. You can also access it now if you want, if you're interested to have a look at what kind of theories we use. Have a look at this website. And we recommend to have a look at that before you enter our program. But we also see students use the papers a lot also during their pre-master program. Some general information. Well, apparently I had to warn you that it really costs 40 hours a week. Full-time studying means 40 hours a week, and of course you can design and organize your week the way you would like to do that. You have in the master the courses scheduled on Mondays and Tuesdays, and for part-time students it means that you select courses per quartile that fit to your program. You select the courses you would like to follow. If you're a part-time student, that also means that you can choose from a lot of different courses because you're quite long in a program, and you can choose in every quartile the course that is most relevant to you. Full-time students, you enroll in February or in September. You often choose 2 courses per quartile. Most of the time 3 or 4 are offered, so you choose 2 of them and design this way your program with your final project at the end. So even though we organized all the lectures on 2 days, this is a small warning that it doesn't mean that you can have a side job for the other 5 days of the week, because you have to do some self-studying, sometimes group work as well. There are a lot of part-time students in our program. We're really used to that. We also see it, you might be a bit scared of the teamwork maybe because you have to organize it with your family or with your work, but we see that it often works out very well because these students work together. They're very effective in online communication, and most of the time this really pays off. So that is about the workload. There were already some questions about the part-time program. So as we stressed already, there is no formal part-time program, meaning that it's designed from A to Z to completely for you. You can design it yourself. Just as also the full-time student design it himself. But the course is the same for a part-time and for a full-time student. It's just that you follow less courses at the same time. And you can really choose whether you would like to do the master part-time in 1.5 or 2 years, or maybe 2.5 years. That's totally up to you. Well, and as we said, fixed day Thursday and Friday for the pre-master. For the master it's Monday and Tuesday. Well, once in a while, because of things like Easter, that the Monday is off. There could be once a class on another day, but for 99.9% that's not the case. So we really keep to those days. What is I think very important to realize, I gave the example, you can start now with the pre-master program in February, and if you passed everything, you can enroll in February for the master. Well, if there is one course, maybe one component that you did not pass or you could not get the credits, we're very sorry, but you cannot enter the master program at that time. So you have to do, sometimes you can still have a resit during the first half year, but of course at the end of the pre-master program, you often do not have the time for that, to do the reset before the start of the master program. And what's also important to realize, this pre-master is sort of a selection program, so we try to make sure that if you pass that you are ready for our master program, and it also means that we expect that after 2 exam attempts you will have passed the course. You can have the attempts whenever you want, but after 2 exam attempts we expect you to pass the course.
Which is true for the far majority of the students, so it looks more frightening maybe than in practice.
Yeah, because if you're ill or having a baby or a funeral or something like that, you go to the exam committee and ask for exemption of through. So it's really, if you had two times with a regular study program and you didn't make it, then we think that it's better to choose a different program to go. I think we have to. Are you interested in this? Tuition fees? And this is the final slide with how you can apply for the different with the different routes depending on your previous program that you followed. You can also find it online. And what I really can recommend, if you are still doubting, you want to experience how it is to follow courses here, experience life as an EST student. So for 1 day you will join one of our students, follow some classes, see how campus life is, if you're interested in that as well, and you can make a decision based on